Hey guys, my name is Montagne, and today I wanted to rank the offensive operators in Rainbow Six Siege. This is a question that I get all the time. Who do you think is the best or worst operator in the game? And I figured I'd just finally give my opinion on this topic. At the end of the day, this will just be my opinion. If you disagree or you have a different ranking system, that's totally cool, but I just thought that this would be a fun topic to talk about, and also for newer players that are just getting into Rainbow Six Siege, this will hopefully give them a good idea on where they should start when they begin to buy operators. And so to start us off in the S class, the best of the best, we have Thermites. Thermite's gadget, in my opinion, is hands down the best gadget in the game when you're playing on the offensive team. It is going to be monumental for your team getting the victory. He may not have the best assault rifle in the game. It does have a fair amount of recoil to it, has a slower RPM, but once you start to understand how the weapon performs, it still hits really hard, and I would say that it's not worthless by any stretch of the imagination. And so it's a combination between his phenomenal gadget and solid weaponry that I think solidifies him in this highest tier. The next one in this S tier has to go to Ash. I think what I love about her so much is that she's very versatile. She has a small headshot hitbox, she's very quick, she has some of the best weapons in the game, but her power really comes down to is her grenade launcher gadgets. What's awesome about this gadget is that you can basically open up any surface on the map from the safety of your hiding spots. If you know someone's behind a wall but you don't want to enter a room because you know it's going to leave you exposed to another angle, well, just use your grenade launcher to open it on up and then you can get that cheeky kill. You see someone behind a deployable shield, they're no longer going to have that deployable shield in a half a second. You're down below and you know that someone's directly above you because you scouted them out with one of your cameras. You can get an amazing kill from directly below your enemy. It's because of that, and alongside her awesome guns, her guns are amazing, that really, in my eyes, makes her one of the best offensive operators in the game. The last one that I have in this top tier goes to Thatcher. Thatcher is invaluable to your team. Remember earlier how I said that Thermite is awesome? Well, he's only going to really be awesome on particular maps if you have a Thatcher to back you up with his EMP grenade. Even if you don't have a Thermite on your team, he's still going to be incredibly valuable if you want to actually finally secure and capture the objective for your team. There's a lot of situations where I want to breach a window, but because it's reinforced by a castle and a mute combo, it's literally impossible for us to get in there because we don't have a Thatcher. He's incredibly important, and so while he's more utility, he doesn't have maybe the best weapons in the game. There are some other classes out there that just have higher rate of fire, better guns. It's because of the utility of the EMP grenade why I think he is invaluable to your success if you want to actually play the objective. Moving on over to the A tier, we have Blitz. What's special about this guy is that while he does struggle in a 2 versus 1 firefight compared to some of the other operators, if you're able to single someone out and they're all by their lonesome, while it's not a guaranteed kill when you're playing as this operator, it's very hard for the enemy to take you out. I think the reason why I didn't put him in the highest tier, because in the right hands, he is disgusting, comes down to his gigantic headshot hitbox. I'm not really sure why Ubisoft decided to balance out the headshot hitboxes in this way, but the larger the helmet, the larger the hitbox. And so if someone hits you in the ear cuff, which are huge on Blitz, you're gonna die with that one bullet. There are times where I am facing the enemy with my shield and out of nowhere, they get a headshot on me because it's just that massive. And so while he is an incredible operator, it's for that very reason why I put him in the A category. Up next, we have one of my favorites, and that has to go to Twitch. I think a lot of people write her off because her gadget just doesn't seem to be all that impressive. It's a drone that does 10 extra damage, and while it's nice to be able to take out other people's gadgetry, like Mute for example, if you already have a Thatcher, he does that job 10 times better, and so why would you want to use him? Once you start to grasp how awesome having 3 drones is, though, you start to realize her potential. I cannot tell you how many times I've been able to kill an enemy because I've downed them. They got downed behind an object that I couldn't shoot through, and then I threw my drone inside and zapped them and got a humiliating kill on them. It's amazing when you're able to pull that off. Alongside her access to the FAMAS, which in my opinion is God's gift to Rainbow Six Siege, high damage, high rounds per minute, manageable recoil, she is a menace in the right hands. Speaking of menace, we have Fuse. Fuse is very annoying to fight against, and while I know that for people that have been playing for a long time, he's not so bad because once you understand the map and you realize where he's gonna breach, or if you just realize that he's on the enemy team, you can counter him easily. Even then, he's gonna get a cheeky and free kill on you every once in a while. And so if you're new to the game or you're just someone who's been struggling to get a kill every once in a while, I highly recommend that you try him out. Don't really play him on hostage if you're new, because you're probably gonna kill the hostage more often than you kill the enemy. But if you're playing on any of the other game modes, he is simply fantastic. The final one for this A tier is gonna go to Sledge. I have a special place in my heart for this guy. I don't know if it's just because he clicked with me when I first started playing Rainbow Six Siege. I apparently had a 9 kill death ratio. I don't know how I was able to achieve that. I had like a 9 KD after 10 hours of playing with this guy. It was awesome. But I think it's the combination between having a grenade at your disposal, solid weapons, and his hammer. Being able to open up like 10 different access routes to an objective really puts the fear into your enemy. I've had situations where I opened up 5 different routes in about 10 seconds, and you could really see the enemy start to panic when you went in with your drones. They have no idea where you're coming from. It's that confusion that you want to take advantage of when you are playing as this operator, and it's the reason why he is the final one for this category. Moving on down to the B tier, we have Glaz. I know that some people are going to disagree with me on this one because they swear by this class. They think he's the best of the best, and while maybe it's just simply because I'm not very good with him, and I fully admit I'm not the best Glaz player out there, I find him to be one of the more selfish operators. His gadget only benefits himself, and while he can bring breaching charges, usually when you see a Glaz player, he's off just kind of doing his thing the entire round and only will get towards the objective at the very end, and usually it's too late at that point. And while he can be helpful, don't get me wrong, if you're playing on plane and you get a one-shot kill on someone through the window on an unsuspecting victim, bringing it to a 4 versus 5 is huge for your team. I just find that because every gun in this game can one-shot at long range, his high-powered rifle just doesn't do enough compared to the other guns. I know that people are going to disagree with me. There are people out there that just dominate with this class, and this is the thing that I love about Rainbow Six Siege. The class balance is awesome. Like, there are some that I think are clearly better than others, but in general, if you're awesome with a particular class, like, you can still do just fine. But at least for me, this is the reason why I have put him in this category. Up next, we have Montagne, or Montagne, Mountain, whatever you want to call him. He's not bad per se, but I think his true potential comes when you're working with teammates. If you're playing by yourself, he's more of just a nerfed Blitz. You can still get kills. I mean, I've gotten slapped around by this guy every once in a while, but in general, his power comes with teamwork. And so if you're playing with friends, he can be awesome, but it's for that very reason for why I find him to be one of the more underpowered classes in the game. And then lastly, our C tier goes to IQ. IQ gets this tier all to herself because she's bad. The only redeeming quality of her goes to her light machine gun. The LMG admittedly is quite solid, but because she doesn't really have any other thing going for her, her gadget is awful. Like, it's bad. I'm really hoping that Ubisoft takes another pass at her gadget and maybe just reworks it from the ground up or does something significantly to improve it, but at least in her current state, I would avoid IQ like the plague. I love her, she looks great, I love her purple sneakers, but overall, she is, in my eyes, the worst attacking operator in Rainbow Six Siege. But yeah, guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about my list. This was just my opinion, and so do you agree? Do you disagree? Would you rank them completely differently? Let me know down below. But yep, until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.